Women of Reddit. What was something you didn't know about men till you got with one? How different a penis can look soft versus erect. And how much it can shrink in the cold. Most of them are way into cuddling and having their heads rubbed. Scratch my back with long-ish fingernails and I am in heaven. That guys can make their dick move without touching it. The first time I saw my ex do this I was really surprised. I can make mine fetch the newspaper. Maybe not the whole meal, but I got the sausage and coffee creamer covered. Pants at the moment. The absolute commitment to underwear and t-shirts until they're held together by fumes. ETA. 15K upvotes. Amazing. Now go reward your bits with something cushy and supportive. They love compliments and will hold onto them for years. I noticed this with my husband a while back. Whenever I tell him that something he wears makes him look nice, he'll wear it as often as possible. If he tries something on while shopping that I think looks good on him, he'll buy it and put it on as soon as we get home. I love that guy. That they can literally beat the life out of and slap around, their dong. But one tap of the balls and they're on the ground. How often they need to readjust their balls. I rotate mine every 3,000 miles. You guys are a portable heater. Your body emanates so much heat and here I am with extremities that are stone cold. Plus, a boner doesn't mean you are horny. Boners are just random. Puberty is especially rough for this reason. The most popular boner is "oh, it's 5 minutes left of class. Hope I don't get an Eric no. Can you come up to the board and show the class how to solve this fraction?" I genuinely thought men held their penis when they peed because otherwise it would fly all around with the force of urine going through it. My friend said she was amazed at how men can make anything fun and a collaborative project. Throwing rocks in the lake? How far can you throw? How many skips? Biggest splash? Or digging a hole at the beach? Every man will join in and make a hole halfway to China. Inside every man is the latent, primal urge to dig a hole. If there is a poop stain in the toilet, they will try to aim their pee to hit it. It's really disappointing if we can't fully remove it with a full bladder. That balls don't typically hang at the same level, one is a little lower than the other. All those dick doodles have lied to me. How much trauma they tend to accept as simple facts of life. Definitely made me more invested in my brothers. If my husband has experienced X, Y, and Z and has thought nothing should be done or even said about it, how many experiences like that have the other men in my life had? That the ballsack physically moves around and you can see when it gets looser or tightens. It's super fascinating to look at, you can also feel it. And the man can't control it. Edit, it happens based on temperature. Edit 2 I think we should all just agree to call this the lava lamp effect. I trust my balls to know what state they need to be in. They seem to be handling things well enough so far. They can make their penis move up and down, when it's erected, without touching it. Edit. Thanks guys. Now I know it's Kegels. It doesn't have to be erect. The penis itself isn't a muscle, but it's attached at the base to one. If you contract, relax said muscle, the penis will go up and down accordingly. As one gets into attack mode, the other has to get into defense mode. How itchy their balls can be sometimes. And being quiet doesn't mean they're mad or thinking about someone else, they're just vibing. Edited to say, holy crap. Didn't expect my comment to get so much attention. Thank you guys. My ex-wife was shocked at how short a phone conversation can be for dudes. My best friend called me once. This man literally flew across the country once to be at our wedding, called me because he was bringing me to work the next day. Still need a ride? Yep, okay, I'll be there at 5:30 sounds good, and that was it. She sat there astonished and was asking why didn't we want to talk to each other. I really had no good answers either, it's just the way she goes I guess. My favorite cousin texted me we got engaged, best man? Yep. Cool. His wife is still baffled by it. The best conversation I've had with a stranger. What's going on? Good. How are you? Nothing. Nods. How they can spend an entire day with a person and not learn a single thing about them. That their balls move on their own? Weirdest thing ever. How easy they can be to please. A plate of food without being asked or a compliment, show of admiration in front of other people goes quite a long way. Edit. Wow. I did not expect this to blow up the way it did. Thank you for the awards. When I met my husband, he was a year into a breakup from a woman that expected him to do everything and just be thankful she graced him with her presence. He was really torn down but a very good man. I hope this helps some women, and men, out there, because I have the life of my dreams with him after several years and having a family. He's become the kind of man that can change the world with his hands tied behind his back, and I really think it is because I spoke it every time I saw something good in him and do things, no matter how tiny, to just let him know I was thinking of him and that he mattered. It really doesn't take much. Bill Burr has a bit where he talks about a time he was working in his garage when he was hot, sweaty, and worn out and his wife brought him a sandwich, some corn chips, and a cold beer. She sat it down, kissed him in the head and left. He said he still thinks about that sandwich years later. That whole thing about the way to their heart being their stomach? Accurate. I once hooked up with a guy the first met on Tinder, made him breakfast the next morning. He said no woman had ever cooked for him before, looked teary, and now we're married. Something in them always, or at least usually, keeps the sense of humor of a little boy. It's kind of endearing. Doesn't get cold easily, can be quite hard to open up, loves cuddles too, wants to be babied and taken care of too, can be quiet without thinking about anything. I think people overblow the not thinking about anything concept. Oftentimes we are indeed thinking about something, but it's nothing of substance to bring up in any conceivable context. My wife and I were driving once and she says, "You okay?" 'Cause I hadn't said anything and I realized I had been concentrating for the last 10 minutes on transforming the lyrics of Tears for Fears "Everybody wants to rule the world" to "Everybody wants to poop their pants." I told her everything, including the new lyrics that I was currently using and how some didn't have to change in terms of the subject of poop, like it's my own design, it's my own remorse. Stuff like that. She laughed, but I know it was probably better to just say I'm not thinking about anything. Edit. Since you've asked for the lyrics, welcome to your butt. There's no turning back. Even while you pee. We find you crapping on your best behavior, turn your butt to Mother Nature. Everybody wants to poop their pants, it's my own design, it my own remorse. Help me to decide, help me make the farts of freedom, toots of pleasure. I just wanna fart forever. Everybody wants to poop their pants. There's a room where your butt won't find you, holding hands while the poop comes tumbling out. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've defecated, so sad they had to smell it. Everybody wants to rule the world. I can't stand this indigestion married with a smell of stinking. Everybody want to poop their pants. Say that you'll never flush it. One toilet. Yellow, leave it. Everybody wants to poop their pants. All for pooping, all for pleasure. I just wanna poop forever. Everybody wants to poop their pants. That they are really emotional, love a cuddle and want thoughtful consideration just as much as women. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I was raised with men who didn't show their emotions or have strong opinions. The first time I got a proper boyfriend, I was amazed to find he loved being held. They keep a significant amount of thoughts to themselves. Edit. Holy moly. I just woke up and I cannot even get through all these. When I actually get up for the day, I'm going to, though. Seems the general consensus is, it's saving something, not telling their thoughts, or men are conditioned to keep it in. This is so upsetting. Let me say to anyone keeping quiet in your relationship, I promise you the right person wants to know how you feel. Emotions are hard enough. You shouldn't have to go through them alone. How rarely they get complimented. I told my guy that I loved his shirt and he didn't even know what to say. He told me he couldn't remember the last time someone complimented him, so I've started looking for little, random things to compliment him on. Morning wood. Had absolutely no idea that shit just pops up every night till I started dating my first boyfriend. It's basically BIOS. Checking on the basic stuff before the software in our brain turns on. How freakishly strong they are. My husband was a normal-looking dude. Didn't go to the gym. But he literally lifted a treadmill into the back of an SUV by himself. To be fair, you were watching. A man's effective strength increases 500% when there's a woman there who might maybe be impressed at the heavy thing he lifted. Poor dude probably slipped a disc XD. They love to hear the tea but make no effort to ask any questions or get any information to share. T-lol. Example. Him. Oh yeah. Mark broke up with Jessica. Me. OMG. Why, what happened? Him. I didn't ask. How much some love to hold hands or be physical with hugs and such. Grew up in a bad environment and many of the male figures in my life were always cold or distant or flat out abusive. Trying to figure out a way to handle it as my body, nervous system isn't used to that at all. Just how much they like peeing outside. It's our God-given right. Was wondering how many hours it would take for this thread to pop up after the opposite one. Just how long they're willing to put off going to a doctor, specialist. The mental gymnastics done to avoid seeking professional help is astounding. When they ask you to leave them alone, they absolutely mean it. They don't mean, leave me alone for 5 minutes and then start trying to comfort me or overanalyze the situation or get me to talk it out. I had to learn that the hard way. Penises float. The first time I took a bath and a guy joined me, I giggled uncontrollably while poking at it to push it down so it would pop back up. Edit. Apparently not all of them do. Clearly my dataset is quite small compared to the population of penis havers who exist. I have no idea if it's related to size, but I am a mom to 2 boys and when they were little enough for me to bathe, floating definitely happened. Laughing face. That when they need to go to the store they just go straight to that item and then pay and leave. It's something I need to learn. Lol. NRBs, no reason boners. Like, it just happens? For no reason? Wild. What is it, boy? Do you see something? That it's difficult to get a boner after drinking. It provokes the desire but takes away the performance. Henry IV Part 1. Act 3, Scene 1. They like to be Little Spoon. I'm so much smaller than my boyfriend that he just asks me to jetpack him when he wants to be Little Spoon.